Jay, when you have a game like that, how tough is it on Sunday to watch that one, knowing that the play here or there, obviously could make a difference?
Yeah, I think it's tough, but at the same time, it's good to sit there and watch the film and learn from it. Anytime whether you win, you lose, you draw. I mean, you can learn a lot from watching film. So it's good to, reflect on it on Sunday and kind of get back to the drawing board and try to get better.
How do you make the most out of a loss like that? It seems like last year LSU kind of turning point for you guys, and 2013 the same way. How do you, as a player and as a team, make the most out of it?
But I think you learn a lot from a loss, whether if it's technique, things you need to change or whatever it may be. I think there's a lot to learn from it. And like you said, last year LSU was the turning point for us, and Deshaun and I and the rest of the leaders of the team kind of got together, and we really flipped the switch and turned things around. So I think there's definitely a lot of positives that can come from it.
Is that like even going back to Stephenville? Is that the thing where you can have a loss, you can make it?
Yeah, I think so, and I think anytime you have great people around you, great coaches, great players, I think it's just a matter of time before everything starts clicking and you can get better from a loss.
Is there anything in particular that you saw watching the film back that you really want to work on this week better at?
I mean, not throwing it to the other team, obviously. That's kind of my big thing. But, I think there's a lot of different things, as an offense that we can work on. Like I said, whether it's, little technique things, ball placement for me obviously is a very big deal, every game. So, just trying to find those little details within our offense that we can change and get better at.
And y'all had anything extra the last week or two to sort of work on those? Have the coaches been a little bit tougher on you offensively?
Yeah, no, that's something we take a lot of pride in. I think last year we were the least penalized team in the league, I believe, something like that. So, like I said, something we take a lot of pride in. And it's just a matter of time before we kind of get that fixed and kind of get that straightened out.
Anything extra you've been doing in practice to try to fix those things?
I mean, we're just really focusing on technique because a lot of that stuff just comes down to technique. So really just trying to get back to the fundamentals of the game of football and trying not to get penalized for stuff like that.
Jarrett, what's your rapport like with Nick Brahms there at center? Just how much have you been able to work with him in practice since he's been back from the injury and all that?
No, we've been able to work a lot together. Him and Caleb both, and then also Tucker Brown back in fall camp. I got to work with all three of those guys. So, I feel great with whoever's up there. So yeah, I mean it'll be good.
Lack of explosive plays, obviously, that's a goal is to have those big plays on offense. Put your finger on those things. I know teams have been dropping guys a little bit deeper at times, but just the importance of those as well. How big is that moving forward?
No, it's huge. I think anytime, obviously, you can get an explosive play, it just kind of ups your tempo, ups your game a little bit, and I think that's something that we really need to focus on. Trying to get a little bit more explosive plays. But at the end of the day, we're going to take what the defense gives us. You can't try and force too many things. So we'll just take a look at it and see what we can do.
Unlike last year after the LSU game, a lot of your tough games are at home. All your tough games remaining are all on the road. Do you guys feel like that there's no margin for error this go around?
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's going to be, 1 year you got a bunch of games at home, the next year you got a bunch of games on the road. It is what it is. But right now I'm just concerned about Arkansas, and I'm not even looking forward to any of those other games quite yet. I'm just focused on doing my job and like I said, focusing on Arkansas.
Being able to spread the ball seems like a lot this season. Is that just a credit to the number of playmakers you have outside, or it seems like there's not one guy, but it seems like there's 5 or 6 guys that catch passes every game?
Yeah, I think it's a huge benefit to us as an offense is whenever you got guys like Ryan Davis and Darius Slayton, Nate Craig, all those guys coming back. I think it only ups your offense. And being able to get those guys in space, get those guys the ball, I think it can only help you.
What was your view of Sept on that catch that I know he didn't catch it, but did you see him go up and make the play?
I didn't see it. I just kind of threw it up and was hoping he would catch it. I was trying to throw it in a spot where he would catch it or nobody would catch it. but I really had no idea what was going on. I was on the ground, so.
What have you seen out of him, though? A true freshman that comes in and has already contributed as much as he has in just 3 games.
Seth has a very bright future here. I have no doubt about that. I mean, he's a playmaker, and when he came in the summer, I wasn't sure just because I hadn't been around him much. But I mean, once you get to know the guy and see how he works, his work ethic, I mean, you can tell that he's going to be a special player, and some of the things he can do, some of the catches he's making, I think speak volumes, and I can definitely just see him just continually to get better throughout the rest of the year.
You mentioned the guys who did come back, if you include Cam Martin in that and all that. Are you surprised that now you guys are relying so much more on the young guys?
I think we got a lot of great backs. I mean, Auburn's, in my opinion, kind of known to have really good running backs in the past, and we got a big group of them. So whether if it's Cam or Boobie or Sean or Asa or whoever's number is called, they're going to make plays for us, and been really proud of those guys, especially young guys to step up and play like that. And Cam's obviously a great player within himself. So yeah, like I said, we just have a great room, and those guys, kind of like I said, just continue to get better every week.
How familiar are you with Chad Morris? Obviously, the shared background of Stephenville there, but
I know Coach Morris really well. Grew up going to school with his. I think his daughter was in my grade, so I know her. And then Chandler, much younger than me. But it's funny, whenever they were moving from Stephenville, I think to Lake Travis, my parents actually looked at buying their house. So I've known him forever. I was a big fan of him, obviously, whenever he was the head coach there in Stephenville, and have kept up with him ever since. So I'm a huge fan of Coach Morris.
Coach Malzahn ever talk to you about their friendship?
Oh yeah, no, he says that they go back all the way. I guess whenever he was coaching high school ball in Arkansas, and Chad was at Stephenville and stuff. But yeah, he talks about it quite a bit.
What stands out to you the most about Coach Morris, just as a person, as a coach?
I mean, there's a lot. I'm a huge fan of him. I think he's got a great personality. I think he's definitely a player's coach. I mean, and everywhere he's been super successful. I mean, all the way back to, Stephenville, Lake Travis. The list kind of goes on. But he's been very successful. Everywhere he's been. So, looking forward to kind of seeing how his year, here at Arkansas goes.
Jared, a lot of people look at Arkansas and look at the scores, but this defense has a lot of players coming back that you guys played against last year too. What have you seen out of them with a new coordinator in just a couple of games in the season?
Yeah, no, I think they, like you said, they definitely have a lot of guys coming back, and obviously the defense coordinator we've played against, last year, and so we have a pretty good idea of what kind of defense they have and personnel wise and that sort of thing. So I'll be anxious to get back on the field and playing those guys and playing against his defense. But like you said, they got a lot of guys coming back, and experience really shows within this league. So I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Jarrett, as the leader on the offense, do you make it a point of emphasis to discuss not listening to the outside noise, especially moving forward now?
Yeah, I mean, I've said it in here a bunch of times. It's all opinion based. I could care less what people say outside of here. It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. And I think that's, especially with young guys, I think that's something you preach to young guys because they just get into Division I football and they don't really know how to handle certain things, certain aspects, and really just telling them hey, look, you can't buy into all this credit that you're getting, and you can't listen to all the noise or the negative stuff that people are talking about you. So I think the big thing is just staying the course, whether if it's for myself or for whoever it is on the team. Like I said, the young guys, I think that's something that's we can definitely harp on and make sure that they understand.
Coach Lindsey was saying that they're probably going to want to ride the hot hand at running back. Obviously, that was Boobie last week. Just what did you take away from the way he ran against LSU's defense?
I mean, Boobie's going to be a special player here too. No doubt about that. He runs really hard. I still think he's trying to figure some of it out. Obviously, that just comes with experience and playing. But I think he's going to do a great job for us. And like I said, I feel very comfortable, giving him the ball and Really any of those backs, because they're all so talented. Getting them the ball and just letting them do their things, and they're all different in their own way. And Boobie's really physical, and obviously played really well against LSU.
Last one.
Running backs. You had some success early on this year. Talk about that and how big a part of the offense can that be going forward?
It was definitely a big emphasis in the offseason, making sure we hit check downs, get our backs out in space, that sort of thing, free releasing the backs and protection, that sort of thing. And, I think they've done a really good job of catching the ball and making plays. And, I think progressively throughout the rest of the year, trying to get those guys the ball in space, catching the ball will be a huge advantage for us.
Thanks, Jarrett.
Appreciate it.